Hello, 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 everybody. I hope everybody is doing good today. And yes, I am live. Why? Because I choose to be. But I'm here because I wanted to talk to you guys about an experience I had. And I thought it might be very helpful for you to understand how I processed it. I was in a situation with someone. Um, having a relationship and not necessarily a sexual or non-sexual, just like it could be brother, sister, it could be mother, father, it could be anybody. But just imagine yourself interacting with someone. So I was interacting with somebody. And while I was interacting with them, I felt like some of their actions were unreasonable. And I felt like some of their actions um, made me feel uncomfortable. I felt like um, in a lot of cases, the things they were saying, they were wrong about the things they were saying. Their opinion was wrong for me. Let's put it that way. It was wrong for me, and so, um, and then too, there was this expectation that I had of this person that they would be thinking more clearer, or that they would um, not be acting in this way. And it just bummed me out for a long time because I kept saying, well, I might be able to understand it if it were someone else or somebody who I didn't have these high expectations for or of. Maybe I could understand that person responding and behaving in that manner. But this person who I held in esteem, this person who I had expectations of understanding and tolerance and all of these things. And so when they begin to act in this way that, in my opinion, was uncharacteristic of who I thought they were, it bummed me out. And so I ran into a couple problems. One of the problems was they were not who I thought they were. Now, this is perfectly okay. Um, but I had trouble struggling with the idea that they were not who I thought they were. And I wanted them to be who I thought they were, but they just weren't that person. But I wanted them to be that person. And then when the interaction started to become more of an attack, then I really got bummed out because I said, oh my, they're attacking me now. And this certainly is not the person who I think they are or who I thought they were. And why are they attacking me? I don't understand. I don't get it. And then I said to myself, I started second guessing myself. I said, well, maybe I'm not being attacked. Maybe I'm just, reading things the wrong way. So I spent months trying to figure this out, trying to navigate this whole situation. And it just freaked me out. And the thing that freaked me out was the internal struggle that I had with the whole situation. Not even the way that they were behaving as much as me not understanding what was happening. I did not understand why this was happening. I didn't understand why this person was attacking me. I didn't understand why this was all happening the way that it was. I just did not understand. And because I didn't understand, well, it bummed me out. It really bummed me out. And so I went through a myriad of emotions. I went through a whole bunch of emotions because, the questions I kept asking myself really boiled down to this. Was there something I did? Was there something I said? Um, why is this person acting like this? Why are they treating me this way? Why are they responding to me in this negative way, in this harsh way? Why is it happening? Thinking it must be something I was doing. And then the questioning turned into anger. Anger that I have to go through this. Anger that this is going on in my life right now. Anger that I just don't even understand why this is even happening to me right now. Anger. And so the first emotion was just total confusion, perplexity, if you can call that an emotion. Sadness. Let's attach an emotion to it. Sadness. And then the second emotion was anger because it was happening to me, and I felt like this should not be happening to me, and so I went through that for a moment. And then I found myself when I was interacting with this person, I found myself um, just really disliking them, having a bad taste in my mouth for them, not wanting to be around them, not wanting to talk to them, just wanted them as far away from me as possible. But because of the way we interacted in various situations, that wasn't possible. I had to be in a situation with this person um, uh, throughout the course of the week. Let's just say it was a workplace environment. This is where I work. This is where, what I had to, I have to, in order to do what I need to do, I need to be next to this person. I need to be near this person. So there was no getting away from this person. And I just didn't know what to do. I was just completely bummed out. I was bummed out because I had higher expectations for this relationship. I was bummed out because I was blaming myself for some of the things that was going wrong. And then I was bummed out because of the injustice of it all, that now I'm being attacked. And why am I being attacked? And just could not figure it out, just could not um, navigate the thoughts in my own mind around it. And it was just bumming me out. It was bringing me low. I was feeling, some kind of way about the whole situation. And so, as I was meditating, and I meditate a lot, and I was meditating and talking to the Lord about about this situation, this is what came into my mind. You got to believe. You have to believe. I said, believe. Believe what? Believe what you're seeing. Believe that everything is not all right with this person, even though it maybe should be in your mind. Maybe they're trying to convince you they're okay, but their actions and their words speak to you that this person is not okay. And you got to believe. You got to believe that this person is not okay. And you got to believe that what's happening in your interactions with this person has nothing to do with you. Even though they may be lodged at you and somebody may be taking it out on you, they may be taking it out on you. It has nothing to do with you. Boy, that was tough. That was tough, 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 tough. And so then we had a situation where we had to interact with another person, with each other rather. We had to interact with each other. And so I found myself at the table with this person, conducting business with this person, and thinking, oh, I don't want to be here. But it was unavoidable. But as I sat there at the table and I listened to more rhetoric and more unreasonable conversation and more things that just did not make sense, I started to say to myself, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe that you're not okay. And I'm not going to keep responding to you like you're okay. I need to come up with another way to deal with you because you're not okay. Now, I can't put my finger on what's wrong with you right now and what's going on with you, but I know this. Your comments and your actions are unreasonable. And when I say unreasonable, I mean a reasonable person wouldn't be acting like this, wouldn't be saying these things. And so as a result of it, I had to shift within myself how I was going to deal with this person. And the interesting thing about it was, as I began to say, I believe, I started getting lighter. I started feeling lighter. And I felt like, okay, I can deal with you. I can talk to you. And I can even express myself in the way I want to, because now I'm I'm using wisdom in my delivery now. See, I'm not just talking to you like we're equals anymore, because we're not. Because you're not okay. Now, it doesn't make me better, doesn't make me higher, doesn't make me king of the mountain. But what it does make me is somebody who can clearly see you got a problem. And if I keep talking to you like you don't have a problem, I'm going to have a problem. And I've decided I'm not going to have a problem. And so I began to find a wiser way of communicating with this individual. And it caused me a lot less stress. And so what I'm talking to you today about is believing what your eyes are telling you. And I'll give you a more extreme example. Say you're in an abusive relationship with someone, and somehow or another you begin to think that this is your fault, or somehow you begin to think that there's something wrong with you, and that everything that's happening to you you deserve because of something you did 10 years ago or 5 years ago, or some decision that you made that caused you to think that you deserve this kind of treatment, um, which all of these are lies that we tell ourselves to um, try to bring answers into this situation, to answer the question, why is this happening to me? Instead of just saying it is happening to me, I recognize it's happening to me. And now how do I navigate from this point on? How do I move from this point on? How do I deal with the situation from this point on, knowing that it's happening to me, but not as a result of anything I have done or who I am. And also, it's happening to me, um, and it's not my fault. How do you navigate that? And so I started agreeing with my enemy quickly while I am in the way. That's a scripture. It says, agree with your enemies. And I'll look it up and tell you exactly what it says. It's in Matthew chapter 5 and 25. It's a very wise scripture. And this is a way to keep situations from escalating, because that's what I was doing. I was escalating. I felt myself escalating. I felt me going from disillusionment to confusion to depression to anger. Who knows what was going to happen next? But it says, agree in Matthew 5:26, 5:25 and 26. Agree with your adversary quickly while you are in the way with him, lest your adversary deliver you to the judge hand you over to the officer, and you be thrown into prison. Surely I say to you, you will by no means get out of there until you pay the very last penny. And so, yeah, there are people, whether we like it or not, who are in positions of authority, and they are in position to be able to do us harm. That's right. There are people in your life, in your lives, who can do you harm. You got to recognize who they are. They could be your children. They could be your neighbors. They could be significant people, in terms of relationship, love-wise, love partnerships, whatever. There are people who are in positions who can do you harm. What do you do? What do you do? First, you got to believe that they are in positions that can do you harm. And then secondly, figure out a way to agree. So what does agree mean? Should you agree that they're right and you're wrong? No. It means that this is a situation that you recognize you don't have any ability to change. You can't change it. There's nothing you can do to change it. You can fight, you can huff, you can puff, and you can try to blow the house down. But the only thing you're gonna do is hurt yourself. Have a heart attack, be stressed out. So some people who you can't get away from because of whatever's going on in your situation right now, maybe you'll be able to get away from them later on, but you can't get away from them right now. Some people you just gotta believe and then know when to fold them, know when to hold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. There is a famous prayer that we all have heard tons and tons about. And this prayer is just so awesome. It is so magnificent because it says, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. And see, that's hard, especially when you're in situations with people who you know really well and you think that there's something you can do to make it better. A lot of times you think it's something you can do. It's something you can change about yourself to make it better. But I'm telling you, with these folks, there's nothing you can do to make it better except try to get out of their way and let them deal with their mania on their own. Grant me the serenity to accept that's where the belief comes in. I believe. I believe I can't change you. I can't change the situation. There's nothing I can do. The things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can. You know what I can change? I can change me. That takes courage. It takes courage to change oneself. And then finally, the wisdom to know the difference. It takes wisdom to know what you cannot change and what you can change. When it comes to other people, you cannot change them. But you can change yourself. You can change your location. You can change a lot of things concerning you. So I just want to encourage you today that if you're going through a situation and you're feeling like, why is this happening to me? What have I done? Maybe you haven't done anything. Maybe it's not you. Maybe you just have to believe you're in a situation you cannot change. And maybe you just have to believe you need the courage to change what you can change. And that's you. And then maybe, just maybe, you have to ask the highest power for the wisdom to know the difference between what you cannot change and what you can change. And on that note, I'm out.